Welcome back, everyone. My name is Joel, and this is Shining Empathy, and today we are doing our weekly reading for February 20th to the 26th, 2017. Now, I apologize if anyone noticed that last week's reading did not go out. I, for the second full moon in a row, got sick. And didn't hit me for very long, but just a few days, but I don't know what's going on there, some energy moving around. Some stuff that's maybe been hanging on for a while that finally got to move with all the kind of full moon energy. Don't really know quite what was going on there, but let's hope that the next full moon does not bring that about again. So I apologize for that, but anytime I do get sick or just am feeling under the weather, I'm not going to force these readings. I'll let you guys know if whatever kind of came up in the next videos, but I don't force the readings. So if I'm just not able to do it, I just kind of listen to my body and take the rest I need. So that's exactly what I did. So sorry if you guys missed that one, but we are back. So let's get into this week's reading. Yeah, nothing I need to brush up on, so let's just get into it. I'm going to set the intention that this is for anyone who's watching the video. What do we need to know this week on all levels? All right. Pan the camera down for you guys here. Right about there should do it. Okay. Let's have a look at the physical and body level. War and chaos. Oh, wow. So it sounds like there's just a lot of conflict happening on a physical level right now. Be it physical conflict within the body itself, literally like getting sick, or it could be physical conflict as in getting into a physical confrontation with someone. Whatever it is, we're talking about something that is very much considered a physical conflict here. The card that's kind of like our strength or solution card, I would almost call this a reminder, is chaos. Chaos is kind of an interesting one. I haven't actually gone through the book with these cards, so I'm just going to intuitively kind of pick this up here. Chaos is kind of interesting because it sort of brings, even though like chaos can be seen as sort of a negative thing, it's sort of like order from chaos. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of good to remind yourself that maybe you're just in a time of chaos, and whatever is going on around you, just kind of like breathe and just kind of let the chaos be chaos and try not to control it, because chaos can't necessarily be controlled. It's something that just is quite often, and trying to control it or manipulate it or what have you, it just sort of leaves us physically depleted sometimes. So I feel like the cards are just giving us a reminder that sometimes things are just chaotic, and we just sort of need to take a step back and allow chaos to be chaos. All right? Let's have a look at what's going on in the mental level. All right, beauty. So it sounds like, especially whereas our solution card is just balance, the challenge right now is just sort of finding the beauty in the moment, in our minds right now, in ourselves. I find the mind can just be very much how we think about ourselves sometimes. How we see ourselves, how we see the world, and how we think about those things. So for whatever reason right now, we're having trouble seeing the beauty in ourselves, maybe in our environment right now, in our situation, in our homes, who knows? But we're having trouble seeing the beauty in everything right now. And as a result, it's causing some issues with how we're thinking about things. The cards are wanting to remind us about balance. So maybe it's just a good idea to actually, especially with the way that we can get into negative thought patterns, and we don't necessarily shift those gears manually, because that's what you have to do. You have to manually shift those gears, right? So I think it's sort of, the idea is take a manual shift here. And when you catch yourself sort of looking at all the negative things, and quite the contrary to this, looking at the ugly in your situation or yourself, try to catch that and shift gears and look for what's beautiful. Just look for the beauty in something. Look for where you have gratitude for something, but shift those gears to something more positive and do it deliberately, okay? Let's see what's going on in the heart this week. So we're not paying attention to our heart wisdom this week. There's some messages, feelings, maybe even physical sensations coming from the heart this week, and we're not paying attention to them. The heart, just like so many other things, I was going to try and give some examples there, but it eludes me. Sorry. The heart has its own wisdom. And if we're not paying attention to it, it can start to kind of get loud about having you pay attention to it. Obstacles tells me that the reason why, what the heart is trying to do right now, as far as what it's trying to tell us, what's going on with it, I see obstacles as a block, like literally like a chakra block on the heart level. And that's what wants to move right now. And I feel like maybe that's what we need to focus on. We need to literally focus and allow whatever's going on with our hearts right now. My first instinct is that there's a lot of people with heightened anxiety recently. And it's good to sometimes change the way you think about that. And if you literally think about how, like, when you feel a peak of anxiety or something, how that is literally a heart block. And that's literally your heart and your natural heart wisdom. That is your heart trying to let you know on a physical level, and an energetic level, emotional. It's trying to let you know that there's something wrong there, that there's a block. So sometimes it's good to just allow those sensations and just say something like, okay, I hear you. I understand, and I hear that there's a block there. You don't even have to say, I'm going to do something about it. It's just a matter of paying attention and acknowledging what the body is trying to tell you, what the emotional level and the energetic level is trying to tell you sometimes. So give some acknowledgement to the wisdom coming through your heart right now, whatever that is for you, and acknowledge that it may have to do with some blocks right now going on in the heart level, okay? Okay, so for spirit. Interesting. So spirit, they're saying that we're having a hard time with play. We're having a hard time just sort of being light about spirituality right now, or not just spirituality in general, but your spirituality, your personal connection to your spirituality. You need to take on more of a play with it, and that's apparently what the challenge is. So maybe we're just taking things a little too seriously right now. And I'm not really surprised, given the global climate right now, as far as politics and the news and everything like that. It's not easy to take things lightly anymore. Everything's just so serious and so dense and low vibrational. dedication is our strength/solution in the spirit level right now. I feel like that is a reminder that being lighthearted about being in kind of like the play mode about spirituality and your spiritual evolution isn't necessarily a bad thing, and it doesn't show any less dedication. And in fact, deliberately trying to engage your spiritual evolution on a more playful level and a more fun level can actually show even more dedication. So I feel like the cards are just kind of trying to sway us. Try and be a little bit more lighthearted about your own growth right now, your spiritual path, whatever that might be. Try not to be so hard on yourself, and just sort of allow and play a little bit more and just have a little bit more fun with it. Because that doesn't show any less dedication. And in fact, allowing the play in can maybe up the dedication a little bit more. It can allow us to be more dedicated to what we need to do. When we take something too seriously, it's easy to just kind of feel a bit grindy about it, and it's hard to kind of stick with it. So I feel like that's going to help with our dedication here. Or at least changing our perception about the idea of being lighthearted about it, about how that doesn't change our, how dedicated we are to what it is we're doing. All right, so let's go ahead and look at what the final message is from Spirit this week. Action. So, we are being called to action this week. Whatever that may be for any of you, but this is physical action. This is something that we are going to have to take physical action about. Either making a choice and acting on it. This isn't just making the choice and sitting on it. This is actually acting on it, whether that's picking up the phone and making a phone call, or verbally telling someone something, yes, we're going to do this. Whatever it is, but this is something that you have to take action with. So if there's something that you have been sitting on about whether or not you should take action with, the cards are urging, especially when it comes up as the kind of final message from Spirit. It's just kind of like a wham. If you're not gonna hear anything else here, pay attention to this. So definitely look for something this week that, well, not look for, but if something comes up this week about taking action, be mindful about that. Okay? So that is it. I'll pan the camera back up here. So I hope you guys enjoyed the reading. I hope you guys got something out of it. I'm finding these cards a little bit interesting to work with. Maybe a little bit challenging, but I'm gonna try and stick it out a little bit and just see. I find that each deck can sort of evolve my practice a little bit, so I'm just gonna keep pushing through with these for a while. Today's reading I found a little extra challenging, so we'll see if these cards continue with the weekly reading. Maybe I'll try it again next week, and if I find it isn't jiving again, I might switch it up. But I do hope you guys got something out of the reading this week. If you liked this reading, please go ahead and like the video. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you can also check me out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Shining Empathy. And that's it. So until next time, everyone, love and light to you all. I'll see you later. Bye.